The Heyoka Empath, the most misunderstood empath, science, psychology, and spiritual purpose. Hello there, welcome to Veronica's Journal. My name is Veronica, and on this channel I talk about spirituality, psychology, and mental health. So together we can evolve as a community that's unstoppable. Today, I'll be talking about the Heyoka Empath, the most powerful empath. Let's dive in. The Heyoka Empath is one of the most misunderstood, mislabeled, and quietly powerful personality types out there. And if you've ever felt like you don't fit into the typical empath descriptions, if people react strongly to you without you saying much, if narcissists seem oddly exposed around you, or if you've been called too much, confusing, or even intimidating, or simply being yourself, there's a good chance you are dealing with a Heyoka energy. The word Heyoka originally comes from Native American tradition, often described as a sacred mirror or a contrarian spirit, someone who brings balance by reflecting truth in unexpected ways. But in modern psychological and spiritual language, the Heyoka empath isn't someone trying to provoke or stir chaos. They are someone whose nervous system, intuition, and emotional intelligence naturally mirror what's happening beneath the surface of others. And that's where things get uncomfortable for everyone else. Unlike classic empaths who absorb emotions, the Heyoka empath reflects them back. You don't just feel what others feel, you show it back to them, often even without realizing it. Your presence alone can activate people's unhealed wounds, suppressed guilt, hidden shame, or unresolved trauma. This is why Heyoka empaths are often labeled as confusing or hot and cold, not because they're inconsistent, but because people are seeing themselves through you. Psychologically speaking, the Heyoka empath tends to develop in environments where emotional unpredictability was the norm. Many grew up with narcissistic, emotionally immature, or highly volatile caregivers. As children, they learned to read micro-expressions, tone shifts, and emotional undercurrents just to feel safe. Over time, this hyper-awareness becomes instinctual. You don't just analyze people, you sense them. Your nervous system picks up on what's being hidden, not what's being said. And when you respond, sometimes with humor, sometimes with silence, sometimes with unexpected honesty, it short-circuits people's masks. This is why narcissists are especially disturbed by Heyoka empaths. A narcissist thrives on control, image management, and emotional manipulation. But the Heyoka doesn't play the expected role. You don't respond with predictable validation or fear. You don't feed the ego in the usual way. Instead, you reflect back contradiction. You might respond calmly when they expect submission. You might laugh when they expect intimidation. You might ask a simple question that exposes an entire false narrative. And you're not trying to do this. That's the key. Heyoka empaths don't attack, they reveal. Spiritually, the Heyoka archetype exists to disrupt illusions, not to destroy people, but to wake them up. That's why your life may feel filled with intense encounters and abrupt endings and polarizing reactions. People either feel deeply drawn to you or deeply unsettled. There's rarely an in-between. Emotionally healthy people often feel seen and understood by Heyoka empaths, but emotionally unhealthy people feel exposed. And exposure feels like danger to someone who survives through denial and manipulation. This is also why Heyoka empaths often struggle with self-doubt. When people project their discomfort onto you, you start wondering if you're the problem. You replay conversations. You question your tone. You wonder if you were too blunt or not clear enough. But the truth is, your authenticity disrupts systems built on falsehood. From a trauma perspective, many Heyoka empaths oscillate between deep compassion and sudden emotional withdrawal. Why? Not because they're unstable, but because they've learned to regulate themselves after what you call emotional overload. You may notice you can hold space for others effortlessly, yet struggle to receive the same care in return. Is that true? You might be a very good listener, the mirror, the truth teller, but rarely the one who's truly met. This often leads Heyoka empaths into trauma bonds, especially with narcissistic or emotionally unavailable partners. Why? The intensity feels familiar, the emotional depth feels meaningful, and the chaos feels like connection. But what really is happening is pattern recognition. Your nervous system recognizes dysfunction because it was trained there. The turning point for the Heyoka empath comes with awareness. When you realize your role is like not to heal everyone or reflect everyone or carry emotional responsibility that isn't yours, your power sharpens when you learn to set boundaries. When a Heyoka empath becomes self-aware, grounded, and emotionally regulated, they become almost untouchable. You stop explaining yourself. You stop chasing clarity. You stop shrinking to keep others comfortable. And that's when your presence alone becomes transformative. Not loud, not forceful, just clear. Spiritually speaking, Heyoka empaths often go through repeated ego deaths. Periods where their identity collapses, where old versions of their self no longer fit, where isolation becomes necessary. These phases aren't punishments, they are recalibrations. You're shedding false roles, false guilt, false responsibilities, and learning to stand in truth without apology. One of the hardest lessons for the Heyoka empath is realizing that not everyone wants healing. Some people want familiarity. Some people want control. Some want validation just for dysfunction. And when you stop providing that, when you stop mirroring unconsciously, those people fall away. This can feel lonely at first, but loneliness is not the same as alignment. When you align with yourself, your energy softens, your intuition sharpens, and your relationships become fewer but real. The Heyoka empath's purpose isn't to fix the world. It's to reflect the truth so clearly that illusion can no longer survive in their presence. That's why your life may feel very intense, why your path feels so different, why comfort was never the goal. You're not here to blend in. You're here to wake everyone up, starting with yourself. And once you stop fearing your own depth, the right people will recognize it as home. And this brings us to the end of the video. If this video resonated with you, smash that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Have an amazing day. Love you all. Until next time.